Kawhi Leonard, one of the greatest players in the NBA and always considered an MVP caliber player, with his ability to drive to the basket and draw fouls, being able to hit the three-pointer at a very high rate, and locking up opposing players. He's simply a game changer. So on June 15th, 2018, Kawhi Leonard requested a trade from the San Antonio Spurs, which set in an entire new storyline for this NBA offseason. During the 2016-2017 NBA season, when Kawhi was actually fully healthy, he did put up 25 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and knocked down 38% of his three-pointers. So it's no wonder why so many teams out there are formulating a trade package to get the superstar player from the San Antonio Spurs. But which franchise would Kawhi Leonard actually have the most success on? We are going to look at factors such as the team roster, the management, and Kawhi's willingness to build a future with the team he does get traded to. It's time to run the Kawhi Leonard experiment. Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So how exactly does the Kawhi experiment work? Well, what I will be doing is I'm going to be trading him to 3 different NBA franchises, and we are going to simulate an entire NBA season based off the team that he is on. We are going to check out like team stats, player stats, see how Kawhi Leonard does, see how the players around him do, and pretty much just find out like what the best fit for Kawhi Leonard is. Now, keep in mind that there is like 8 or 9, maybe even more than that, NBA teams actually rumored of putting together a trade package for Kawhi Leonard. We obviously are not going to cover all of them, so I'm kind of looking at some of the teams that I think he would probably go to, or he would like to go to. I think it's very important to note that, you know, him being on a 1-year deal with a player option, he's going to get traded to a team that the team knows will get him for the longevity of his NBA career. So let's go ahead, guys, and get started on this. I think the first team we need to look at for Kawhi Leonard is obviously the team that a lot of us want to see, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, guys, for this Lakers trade to work, pretty much the Lakers would get Kawhi Leonard, and the Spurs would get, you know, Brandon Ingram, maybe Kyle Kuzma, one of those guys, probably Josh Hart. The Lakers 2018 first round draft pick, which is 25th overall, and also the Lakers 2019 lottery protected first round draft pick. This right here, man, would just like set up a new super team to be formed down in the Western Conference, because you got Kawhi Leonard, chances are a guy like LeBron James, and also even Paul George would probably go to this team, man. So all of a sudden, that is your star-studded team going up against that super team Golden State Warriors. How does Kawhi Leonard exactly fit in with these guys out there? Well, I do think that if Lonzo Ball was to be the point guard of this team, he probably would actually do the bulk of the ball handling. Now, he would probably shoot like 5 times a game because, you know, Lonzo Ball don't even be shooting when you got all those other stars on your team. LeBron James actually wants to play off ball more, so that helps him out a lot too. Kawhi Leonard can score in so many different ways out there that's like, where, you know, if LeBron James wants the ball in his hands, Kawhi Leonard can find a way to score that way. If at times you want to run the offense through Kawhi Leonard, you know, you can find ways to score that way. Paul George, one of the best catch and shoot all-stars in the NBA, would probably be doing that a lot for this team, just because, like, you know, Paul George does not necessarily need the ball in his hand to be effective. But man, the defense of this team with LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, even Lonzo Ball and his length out there, Paul George, one of the NBA's leading scorers in stealing out there. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and check out this simulation with Kawhi Leonard and the rest of the super team Lakers and see how exactly they would do in the NBA. This is the lineup we are looking at. Lonzo Ball at point guard, Paul George at shooting guard, Kawhi at the 3, LeBron at the 4, and I'm looking at Brook Lopez probably at the 5. I think he would definitely take a player's salary cut, you know, play with some of these other great guys out there. We got Kuzma with KCP, Zubac, and also Raymond Felton off the bench right here, guys. Now, when I'm looking at this team's record, man, I'm thinking probably at least like 59 wins in the Western Conference. So let's go ahead and simulate this season and see just how good this Kawhi, LeBron, and Paul George team can really do. Okay, so a record of 67-14, one more game left in the season right here against the Clippers. Simulate through date and finish with a W on the season, guys. 68 wins, first place. We got LeBron James getting MVP on the Lakers, 25 points, 13 rebounds at the power forward position, 10 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block shot, 42% from 3. Ben Simmons, Rookie of the Year, Jeremy Lin, 6-man, Marcus Gasol, Defensive Player, Jamal Murray, Most Improved, and Steve Kerr actually getting Coach of the Year. All-NBA first team, we got LeBron James making that. All-NBA second, Kawhi Leonard, and the All-NBA third. So no Paul George making the teams at all. It's all good, though. I mean, I feel like one of those guys would probably have to sacrifice a little bit out there. It would probably be Paul George. Let's go to the team player stats on the season. So we have team stats. This team was the 3rd best scoring team in the NBA. But it looks like this is where you got him at, man. Defense gave up 98.1 points per game, a 16.3 differential out there. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so now we got the player stats. So we know LeBron's stats. Paul George actually was the second leading scorer at 21 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. And then Kawhi Leonard at 21 points, about 6 rebounds and 5 assists, 2-3 steals a game. So really all three of those guys played fantastic, combined for what, man, 65 points out there, maybe a little bit more. Brook Lopez brought some scoring. The thing I don't like about Brook Lopez on this team is that, like, him as a center, he is more offensive oriented, so you really would want to get a guy that can probably rebound and throw back some shots a bit more. Kyle Kuzma, 11 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. Lonzo Ball got himself to 9 points, 6 rebounds, about 9 assists. I would expect about those type of numbers from him. Also 2 steals out there, so his defense was fantastic. There is the rest of the stats. So here we go, man. First round of the playoffs, we do have the Pelicans. I'm hoping we see the Golden State Warriors here in the Western Conference Finals. Similar current round against the Pelicans. And got them 4-0. Close out game looking like this. 36 for Kawhi Leonard, 28 and 14 and 5 for LeBron James, 23 for Paul George. Next up, Clippers, another team that might actually have a chance at Kawhi Leonard. Similar current round, and got them 4-0. We do have the Golden State Warriors in the conference finals right here. Here's the stats for that closeout game. All right, man, this is the series I've been waiting for. Simulate current round, and, well, oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Maybe this is all just for nothing, man. Maybe this is all just for nothing. This team just got swept by the Golden State Warriors. Can you imagine if that happened, guys? Oh my god. Okay. We got Philadelphia winning the damn championship. All right, man. Time to move on to that next team. Okay, so the next team that is heavily rumored to get Kawhi Leonard is a team that has so many assets to give up that it almost makes sense for the San Antonio Spurs to make a trade with this team, and that is the Boston Celtics. Yes, guys, the Boston Celtics, coached by the great Brad Stevens. I mean, who does not want to play for him? Can you guys imagine what Kawhi Leonard would be like in a Brad Stevens system out there? Plus, he's used to playing for a great coach, Greg Popovich, so I think he would fit in perfectly with this squad out there. Now, for this trade to happen, like I was saying, the Boston Celtics would need to give up some of their bench depth and also one of their young star players out there. So my guess is the trade would probably involve somebody like a Jaylen Brown, Marcus Morris, Terry Rozier, that Gershon, Yapos, blah, 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 Abdul Nader, Semi Algelair, man, all these different players out there, man, a lot of young talent out there too, which is always good for the Spurs organization because they always are very well at developing young talent. And they would probably also get that Kings top 1 protected 2019 first round draft pick. So with Kawhi Leonard on this team, you are looking at a lineup of Kyrie Irving, probably, I'm going to say probably Gordon Hayward at the 2 spot, Jason Tatum at the 3. You probably got Kawhi Leonard at the 4 and Al Horford at the 5. So all of a sudden, your bench is a little bit weaker out there, but at the same time, it's like that starting 5, that might be like, you know, from top to bottom, the best starting 5 in the entire NBA. I'm even talking about the Golden State Warriors, mainly because, you know, you have the upper advantage with having Al Horford at center as opposed to the Warriors, who might have like Jordan Bell starting at center next season or something like that. So how exactly does this team work? I mean, it's a lot of star power out there. I do feel like that Jason Tatum's numbers would kind of go down a little bit after the season because you look at all those options on that team. You got to say Kawhi Leonard would probably be the first option, followed by Kyrie Irving, and then it would kind of be a toss-up between Jason Tatum and Gordon Hayward on any given night. As far as this fit goes, I mean, if the Celtics are really looking to take that next step, if they're looking to become the dominant team in the Eastern Conference, if they're looking to get past teams like the 76ers, who are really up and coming, or even the Cleveland Cavaliers, if LeBron James goes back to them, which I don't think he does, this definitely, man, makes the Boston Celtics a great team for a very long time. Even if Kyrie Irving decides to go to the Knicks next NBA offseason, which totally could happen, the Boston Celtics are going to be relevant, guys, for the foreseeable future. Okay, so here is the lineup for the Boston Celtics. We got Kyrie at point guard, Gordon at the 2, Jason Tatum at the 3, Kawhi at the 4, and Al Horford at the 5. Off the bench, we have Marcus Smart, Greg Monroe, who will probably actually play a lot of power forward, Aaron Baines, and also Shane Larkin to be the new backup point guard for this team. So yeah, man, overall, like, this lineup's absolutely crazy good. I totally expect them to make it to the NBA Finals. We'll see how that goes. So let's go ahead, guys, simulate this Kawhi Leonard Boston Celtics team and see just how good they can really do. So a pretty similar record to the Los Angeles Lakers team. Record is 68-13. One more game against the Brooklyn Nets, similarly through date right here. Big W against them. So we got MVP going towards Stephen Curry, Ben Simmons, Rookie of the Year, Jeremy Lin, 6-man. Kawhi Leonard getting Defensive Player of the Year, guys, with 23 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1-2 blocks a game, shot 43% from 3. No idea how that's not like MVP caliber, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so team stats on the season. We have... No, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, here we go. All right, team stats. Points per game wise, we were the 3rd best scoring team in the NBA. And once again, defensively, we were the best defensive team at 99.6 points allowed per game. That's exactly what Kawhi Leonard is going to bring your team, man, is make you one of the best, if not the best defensive team out there. So looking at the player stats here, Kyrie Irving still got 25 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Kawhi Leonard, 24 points. We know his stat line out there. Gordon Hayward did fantastic as like the third scoring option of this team. Gordon Hayward still had really great numbers, guys. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Absolutely love seeing that. And then the bench was, you know, once again, man, pretty solid out there for the Boston Celtics. So first round of the playoffs, we do have the Orlando Magic. Simulate current round here. And looks like we got them 4 games to 0. Close out game, so 27-14-4 for Kawhi, 19-7 for Kyrie Irving. Next up, Toronto Raptors, simulate current round here, and got them 4 games to 0. Looks like we do have probably LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Simulate current round, and well, man, we just lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. So I mean, I guess this kind of shows you, man, that, you know, Kawhi Leonard is still having trouble getting past some of the tougher teams out here, which I don't know, man. Like, I still feel like he would probably at least get to the NBA Finals. I don't know if he would win it, but they would definitely get to the NBA Finals in this case. But here we go, man. Let's move on to that third and final team. Okay, so for the final team we are going to look at right here, I don't feel like this team has the best trade package to offer for Kawhi Leonard, but at the same time, this is a team that Kawhi actually really wants to play for, so it totally does make sense for me, you know, for a franchise to pull a trigger on a player that they know will actually want to play for them, man, because some of those other teams might be hesitant, you know, not realizing that if Kawhi Leonard wants to stay there, you know, long-term and stuff like that. So the team we are actually going to look at, because I was very curious to see what this man could do out here, is the New York Knicks. Yes, guys, New York Knicks just got their new coach, David Fizdale, who is actually one of the better coaches in the NBA, got fired by the Grizzlies. Totally was wrong there for doing that. But yeah, man, the trade package we are looking at right here, no, it does not involve Kristaps Porzingis. I don't think Kawhi would go to this team if he knew he was being traded for the only other all-star on the team. So like I said, man, one of the weaker packages, but still not too bad. The Spurs would get Tim Hardaway Jr., Frank Ntilikina, and also the New York Knicks 2019 first-round draft pick, which is number 9 overall, which is would probably be somebody like a Mikal Bridges or a Miles Bridges or somebody along those lines right there. I actually really like this move for the New York Knicks in the sense that, you know, Porzingis is going to be out for a little bit going into next season, probably till the All-Star break, actually. But teaming up him with Kawhi Leonard, I mean, that 1-2 punch is absolutely fantastic. And like I was saying earlier, Kyrie Irving wants to play for the Knicks. That definitely is going to liken the chances of the Knicks being able to get Kyrie Irving, because then after that, man, going to that 2020 season, you're looking at a team of Kyrie, Kristaps Porzingis, and Kawhi Leonard. Now, do I think this trade is going to happen? Well, it depends on other NBA franchises and their mindset out there. But if this was to happen to the Knicks team, this would be like the best thing to happen to them in a long time. Besides, of course, drafting Kristaps Porzingis. We all know how that went. So yes, guys, let's go ahead and check out this final simulation of Kawhi Leonard on the New York Knicks. Okay, so the New York Knicks, guys, actually played, I believe, like the best team out of the entire simulation in the regular season. We beat the Cavaliers, 60 wins on the season. I definitely was not expecting that. I mean, there's a lot to be said, though, about just having a team built around a superstar and all-star like a Porzingis and also a Kawhi Leonard, as opposed to just having, like, 3 really good superstars on your team, because then you can have, like, chemistry issues and stuff like that, plus this team being the Eastern Conference. Here's the awards you guys all to see real quick. No Knicks on there. All-NBA, let's look at the All-NBA teams real quick. So, nobody on the first. We got Kawhi on the second, and Kristaps Porzingis on the third. All right, man, I'm definitely was not expecting this at all. Team stats. We have points per game wise, this team was the 4th best scoring team. Defensively, they were the 2nd best defensive team. So once again, Kawhi Leonard bringing that different mindset up in there. Player stats, we got Kawhi Leonard at 25 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. How is that not MVP caliber? We got Porzingis at 23.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1-2 blocks per game. Michael Beasley did great as the starting small forward. Enes Kanter brought the rebounding, brought some scoring out to Trey Burke. You know, good starting point guard numbers. Not amazing, but did not really need to be amazing out there. Courtney Lee and Kyle O'Quinn off the bench were fantastic. Moutier, some good solid minutes at backup point guard. Noah played like a bitch ass, but it's all good, man. It's all good. All right, let's get to these playoffs. Simulate current round against the Milwaukee Bucks. See how we do out here, man. And we got them 4 games to 0. So Giannis 26 points, Porzingis 32, 23, 7 and 7 for Kawhi Leonard, 16 and 11 for Enes Kanter. Next up, the Toronto Raptors. Also, it's important to note that the Cavaliers did get knocked out first round, so that's good for us. Simulate current round against the Raptors. Oh well. All right, man, maybe it doesn't matter because we just lost 4-2 in the second round. So there's some important things to note when it comes to these experiment, guys. First thing, I have no idea what all the other rosters are going to look like going in the next NBA season. So it is based off the current season for the most part out there. Pretty much the point of these experiments is just to see how much of a game changer Kawhi Leonard would be to a specific franchise, you know, based on the team they have right now. Of course, you know, man, there's going to be different free agent moves out there and stuff like that. But overall, man, each one of these teams hit like 58, 59, 60 wins in the regular season. Playoffs were kind of a different story. We didn't really do too much there, but there is a lot of great teams out in the NBA at the moment, guys. But anyway, my friends, let me know in the comment section below which team do you want to see Kawhi Leonard go to. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.